All right, today we're all going to become architects, but not architects of buildings, no. We're talking about something way more fundamental, the architecture of learning itself.
You've been there, right? You take a workshop or watch a tutorial and it just clicks. Everything makes perfect sense. But then the next one you try is just a total mess. It's confusing, it's frustrating. So what's the deal? What's the big secret?
Well, here's the thing. It's not magic. Not at all. It's by design. The best learning experiences, they are meticulously built, piece by piece, with a clear plan.
And this is the core idea right here. The best way to think about it is just like a building. Every single part, from the foundation way down in the ground to the very last piece of furniture, it all has a specific job to do. It's all designed in layers.
Okay, so let's start with a really key idea that every single architect lives by, and that's the difference between the blueprint and the actual building.
You know, most of the time when we think about a lesson or a course, we're only seeing the building. That's the final thing, what you actually sit through. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? The real work, the magic, happens in the blueprint, that whole invisible process of analysis and planning that makes the building stand up in the first place.
And get this, the blueprint part isn't just one thing. It's actually a whole collection of different design theories. You can see 6 different types here. And what's wild is that only one of them, this one called instructional event theory, is about the building itself. The other 5, they're all about the process, the analysis, the planning, the evaluation, the whole shebang.
All right, so now that we've got the blueprint sorted, how about we take a tour of the building? Let's walk through the 7 essential layers that you'll find in any really well-designed learning experience.
First stop on our tour is the content layer. This is the foundation.
In our building, this is all your raw materials. We're talking the lumber, the bricks, the glass. It's the what of the lesson, the facts, the ideas, the skills that you're actually building with.
Okay, next up we've got the strategy layer. This is about how everything is organized.
Now, if the content is the bricks, the strategy is the floor plan. It's the layout. It decides how people are going to move through this learning space, what they're going to do, and how everything flows together.
Then we have the message layer, which is all about communication.
Think of this layer as all the signs inside the building, the little labels, the instructions on the wall. It's all the communication that guides you and tells you what's going on.
Of course, communication has to go both ways, and that brings us to the control layer.
This is how you, the learner, talk back. In our building, these are the doorknobs, the light switches, the elevator buttons. It's the user interface, all the parts that let you actually do something.
So, how does the building actually look and feel? That's the representation layer. This is the interior design. We're talking paint colors, textures, the lighting. It's all about how the information is presented to your senses. It's what makes a space feel inviting or, totally chaotic.
Okay, now let's go behind the walls to the media logic layer. This is the technical stuff that makes it all run.
This is the stuff you don't see, but you definitely miss if it was gone. It's the building services, the plumbing, the electrical, the Wi-Fi. It's the technical engine that makes everything actually work.
And finally, our last layer, data management. This is all about tracking what happens inside.
Think of this as the building's smart sensor system. It's tracking how people move around, which rooms get used the most, where people get stuck. It's all about collecting that data so the architect can understand how the building is really being used and, importantly, how to make it even better.
So that's the tour. 7 layers. But why does all this matter? Why go through the trouble of being an architect? Well, it's because the entire reason we build these educational buildings is fundamentally changing. This quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. That old industrial-age factory model of school, it's obsolete. It just wasn't designed for the way we need to learn today.
And here's the huge shift. In that old factory model, everybody got the same amount of time, which meant achievement was all over the place. The new learner-centered model completely flips that script. Now, time is the flexible thing. The goal is constant. Everyone reaches mastery. And how do you make that happen? You guessed it, through good architectural design.
So what does this all mean for you right now? It means you have a new way of seeing things, a new lens to look through.
From now on, when you walk into a workshop or start an online course, you won't just be a participant. You'll see the blueprint. You'll notice the floor plan. You'll critique the interior design. You'll know this plumbing running behind the walls.
You, my friend, now have the architect's eye.
So I'll leave you with this question. Now that we are the architects, now that we understand the blueprint, what are we going to build? What will the schools, the workshops, the learning experiences of tomorrow look like? The plans are in our hands.